Oh yeah, look at that, look at that. We've got some burnt wires. It was kind of my fault. When I first turned the key on, there was actually this ground wire was resting up against the frame, just floating around inside there, and of course it cooked things before I could get the key back off. So that's what I'm doing right now. I got an old wiring harness I'm using wire for, and all of my stuff, and shrink wrap. So that is what I'm doing on the old Seca. Let me turn this around. So yeah, I've been pretty quiet for a couple of days here. I've just been puttering around in the garage trying to throw things away, clean things up. I took a ride on the bike yesterday. I haven't shown you really this bike. I've done a go around of this bike, and I won't bother you with a little right now with a ride by or anything like that. But I'll do a little walk around to it, just to kind of show you. This is a cool bike that not many people have or probably don't even know about. But let me come around. This is I believe a 2023. I think it's when I bought it. You lose track. KOVE 450 FSE Rally, and it was designed. It's a Chinese motorcycle, and it was designed to race Dakar, the hardest rally on the planet. It's very, very cool. But I never thought that I would own a Chinese-built motorcycle, but I'll tell you, I followed these guys for quite a while. And then, of course, they entered 3 of these exact motorcycles, I'm sure with some different tuning. Let me turn this around. In the Dakar Rally, and all 3 finished. They didn't finish high in ranking, but they finished, and that's the first time it's ever been done by any manufacturer in history of the Dakar. I was looking for something different. My buddies ride XJ550, fantastic motorcycles, but I just didn't want one. I have a dirt bike, and I wanted something that I could basically turn into a lightweight adventure bike. And that is what I plan to do with this thing. I'll turn this around again, and everything is gas tank. This thing is designed, for long distance open desert racing is what it's designed for. This here is, as you can see, a gas tank that holds 4 gallons, and you can see each side is 2 gallons. Gives you a total, in reality, 7.5 gallons. You never fill them all the way up, but it gives me I've broken the 400-mile mark with still fuel in the tanks, which is really neat. And that's doing exactly what it was designed for. It's got a nice TFT display, and you can turn your ABS on or off. Once it's off, it stays off. That kind of stuff. Let me turn that back off. The fairing is Zeus fittings, and that's designed 1, 2, 3, 4, and the whole front of the bike comes off. And the whole bike is designed to be, quickly worked on trail side in a rally. This gas tank comes off with two bolts here, 1, 2, actually 3, I'm sorry, and it comes off, and everything's quick connects on the fuel lines. Let me turn this back around again. Again, I never thought I'd own a Chinese brand motorcycle, but the fit and finish on this is as good as anything I own in there with my KTMs and everything else. It's a very well built motorcycle, and of course now it's been 2 years, maybe even longer than that they've been on the U.S. market. This was one of the earliest versions that came into the States. It was actually the first one on the East Coast that got shipped in, and it is, they've now raced pretty much every rally on the planet, Baja, the Sonora Rally, you name it. And if they're not winning, they're coming in the top 10, but rarely breaking down. And that's a big deal. But it's a 450 With the current gearing, it's supposed to be capable of 106 miles an hour. I've never done it. Don't really care to. But off-road, it's an absolute weapon. Turn this again, and it's amazingly, the first time I've ever said this also, it's the best stock suspension that I've ever owned on a motorcycle. I've always had to retune my KTMs and that kind of stuff. So it's yeah, very, very cool motorcycle. I can't say enough about them. And before you make judgment on it being a Chinese brand, they're just like Japan. They're the up-and-comers. They, with CF Moto and all these brands that are coming out of China now, it's pretty impressive. And yeah, you know, of course, it does. It's that thing about, you know, a communist government, but I'm not buying a government. I'm buying a motorcycle, and I can't be any happier with the motorcycle. The one downside is the intake noise is quite deafening. You have to wear earplugs when you're riding the bike. The airbox is literally right in front of you under the seat, and with a big giant, you know, foam filter. So it's designed again for easy access and they've been having, ever since I've owned the bike, it's been very choppy on off the throttle. And I've tried all kinds of different things. I actually talked to KOVE USA, or USA Motor Toys in Utah, and they've been fantastic. They sent me out a new ECM with a custom, you know, program on it, and it made a world of difference, but it didn't make it go away. And then just recently, there was a video on YouTube about a guy unplugging the IAC, which is a idle control, idle something control. I'm having a brain fade anyway. But anyway, I unplugged that thing, literally, it was done, and it has transformed the motorcycle. It's stronger. There is no more choppiness. It's the first time I've ever been able to ride it with one hand, because otherwise it was always jerking around. It is a freaking perfect bike now. So anyway, that's pretty much what I wanted to say on that. And like I said, I just wanted to, I've never pointed out that motorcycle before out of all the other bikes I have. But I'm gonna get in here and do a little stuff. I'm gonna put the camera next to me once I get my stuff together here. You know, you can see I'm gonna shrink wrap. I'm cutting new wire in, and I'm gonna shrink wrap it, and so that's how I'm gonna do it. And so that being said, thank you very much, and I'll be back at you. Look at me spinning this camera constantly. Sorry about that. I don't have my little magic button on me. So thanks, guys. Okay, I'm back again, and as you can see, I repaired all of the wires. This is all new, fresh wire cut in and shrink wrapped, and all that other stuff. There was two burnt underneath here that I had to solder in a new piece and put shrink wrap over that, and then I you know, rewrapped it. I do want to do something with this. I want to get so you can see there's the bottom part of the old fuse box. But I want to get all the proper fittings and put it all back together like that one that's in there. And I'm sure I'll source one of those. But everything, at least everything's got an inline fuse. At least they're smart enough to do that. And so yeah, so she's back together, and I don't have to worry about anything burning down again. I do have to figure out what the hell this wire was, why it was just hanging out there. I got to find out where that goes. It's definitely a ground. It goes to all these grounds twinned together inside of here. So it is a ground. So I mean, even if I don't use it, I'll just cover it up so that it doesn't, you know, re-ground. And so yeah, so that's it. So I made quite a mess around here. So what I'm going to do now is put the carburetors back in it and make sure she fires up nicely like she did before. And just put everything back together. I do have a new master cylinder for it. This one here is blown and it's missing the cover, so I did the cheap thing, and that's an eBay one, but it's the exact same configuration as far as the it'll match up perfectly as far as where the mirror goes and the brake switch, all that stuff. So I'm going to get that fixed up and working and do some bleeding, and I'll come back when I start bleeding. And I just want to get this thing so I can take it out in the yard. I want to have brakes, obviously, and you know, make sure it's got gears and stuff like that. I think it's a 6-speed. Is all. Let me spin this around here. All 6 gears are working properly. Again, you know, before I tear into it with the restoration, which is really going to be pretty easy on this one. I want to know that I have a solid motor. I know the motor runs nicely. It's very quiet, but I don't know anything about the tranny. I want to make sure I've got 6 gears. And once I do, then I'll kind of push it aside and get the KZ400 back on the bench. I know I've been kind of working around that thing. So I guess I'm like a little kid when I get new bikes, as in, which I think you guys already saw this. 84 GPZ 550, and the same thing, I got that running. I wanted to know that the motor was not broken, and so and the same with this Seca. Make sure she's got gears and that kind of stuff. I haven't got a chance to ride the GPZ yet. I want to pull the carbs back apart. After sitting overnight, it was very hard to restart, so it's starving for fuel. And chances are it's going to be the float needles are probably sticking inside there. They don't have normal, or the ones I'm most used to, has a little tiny spring on top of the needle valve, and that hooks to the float. These don't have that. They just sit there. So if they jam in there, there's nothing to make them pull them back out again via the float. So yeah, that's it. And I'm going to fade out of this one, and I'll come back to you. All right, ladies and germs. Well, there she is. She's back together and running quite nicely. I have everything, you know, looking tidy on that side, but not very retro. But I don't have the correct battery, so I just have one sitting sideways, a sealed battery. And you come over here, put the old so yeah, she's ready for a good, you know, restoration. Take things apart. But now I know that she's got 6 gears, which is unfortunate. That's what the KZ needs. It needs a 6th gear. And so yeah, I'm going to talk about a retro-looking old girl, you know. So very cool. All right, we're going to sign off looking at the XJ.